Hey, how's it going, everybody? We're back for another one. Hope you guys are all doing well. I am. Uh, Glad that you're here with me today. I'm glad to be here. Let's give all praise, honor, and glory to our Heavenly High One, our Abba Yahawah, in the name of our King Hamashiach Yahawashi. We give thanks for the outpouring of the Holy Spirit, for every blessing bestowed upon us today. I pray for my loved ones. I pray for my family. I pray for those who care about me, and I don't even know who you are. Thank you. If you're praying for me, thank you. I'm praying for you all the time. I'm always praying for my people. I'm praying for the righteous, those who the Most High wants to come to Him and bend the knee and cleave unto Him and His people. I'm praying for all of you guys alike because I walk in righteousness, right? My Father has a desire to save His children, to heal His children, to bring His children into a harmonious relationship with Him, right? And His first begotten of many brethren, Yahawashi, right? So with that being said, let's get into wisdom of Solomon because there are a lot of people who are like they're newly awakening. We got to remember that not everybody has been awake for the same amount of time. There was somebody who just awakened today, and just awakening today, they happen to come across my channel. My channel, this video is probably going to be the first video they see after they learned that they were Israelites, that they had their awakening. Because I remember what it was like for me when I had my awakening, right? And I didn't learn that I was an Israelite from any person. I learned it from reading the Bible. The Most High compelled me to pick up the book. I picked up the book. I started reading it, and when I was reading it, he put the Spirit over me, man, for me to be able to see. And I understood this book is about me. This book is about my people. All right. And so then that's what gave me an affinity for the book to start learning of it and reading and praying and studying. All right. And so then after a while of doing that, then I wound up and going to say, you know what? Let me go and see what's going on out here in the internet world and see if anybody is teaching about this stuff or talking about it. Because I awakened into my Israelite heritage in 2009, right? But it wasn't until 2017, 2016, 2017 when I first started going out and watching, like looking for other people's videos to see what other people were talking about and teaching on the subject. Before that, I just been praying and studying all by myself, since I awakened in 2009. And so, you know, that's why when certain people from certain groups and camps, they try to act as if, we all owe being in this awakening to them and their teachings. I'm like, you guys think that everybody awakens by coming through you guys. It's just crazy. It's not how it works. A lot of us are just awakened by the Most High, you know what I mean, without use of any other man. But I do appreciate the edification that I got from other brothers, though, once I did awaken. And so that's what I'm here to do. I'm here for those who are awakening right now, and they're like, "What do I do? I need some information. I'm starving, because you wake up and then you're voracious, right? You have this hunger, this insatiable hunger, and you start trying to eat and consume the word as much as possible. Learn everything you can. But what happens is many of them don't ever venture into the Apocrypha, or they don't do it for a long time because they're unaware, because the Apocrypha is not in the Bible. So they don't even consider it when they're studying. So I want to put this on their minds. I want to introduce them to the wonderful world of the Apocrypha via the wisdom of Solomon. All right, I'm going to start teaching here. It's a study and it's a lesson. All right, without further ado, let's get into this thing. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Now you see, set the premise, right? It's about to get into things that people who are ungodly that they say when they're reasoning with themselves. But here's the caveat: but they're not reasoning aright. That means the things that they're thinking, that they're saying, their reasoning is incorrect. All right, keep that in mind. All right. So for the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious. And in the death of man, there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the movement of our heart, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air, and our name shall be forgotten in time. See, and as we know, people keep records of history. Right now, we're studying, you know, things that happened a long time ago. But those people in those times, they had no idea that these things were going to be written down and read and talked about, thousands of years later. See, so they reason within themselves concerning this matter, but they weren't correct in this matter. And we do it now. We reason with ourselves concerning certain matters, and we're not doing so out of knowledge or wisdom. All right. So, and our name shall be forgotten in time, and no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun, and overcome with the heat thereof. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and after our end there is no returning, for it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. Remember, he says that they reason with themselves concerning these things, but not aright. So, what is the inference here? That although people believe that there is no returning after death, that you die and that's it, that's not the truth, because regeneration is real. We live, we die, we return. All right. How often, how soon? That's up to the Most High. That's his discretion. But the fact is that we don't live once and that's it. That's the truth. However many lives you live, you know, we don't just live once. He says, verse 6, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Here is that satanic mantra, just written differently. What is that? YOLO. You only live once, so you might as well live hard, live for the now, not worry about anything. There is no life after death. There is nothing you have to worry about after dying. And there is no hell, which there is no hell in the sense of like how the Christians describe it. There is hell in the sense of a state of living, a state of being, a condition. And that's what regeneration is about. You are reborn, and then you can get your hell in your next life. You'll pay in your next life for what you did in this one or in the previous one, right? And you can be brought down to low estate and have a horrible life, and not knowing that the reason that you're having the struggles and the hard times and the great evils that you're having to face is because of how you lived before, right? Because you really believed in YOLO. You bought the satanic doctrine. You bit the apple of Satan, the fruit of Satan. You ate it. All right. It says, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass us by. You see, YOLO, you only live once. Carpe diem, seize the day. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they be withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion, and our lot is this. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. This is what happened when we went into slavery as well, right? This is what these people did. This was the kind of spirit they had, saying, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn. All right. See, now we are the righteous. All right, Israel, we are the righteous. And even those who there are even those of other nations who are also considered righteous, right? Just not on the level of the children of the kingdom. Don't forget about Matthew chapter 24 or 25, right? When it talks about judgment and the separation between the sheep and the goats, right? The righteous being set on his right hand and the wicked being set on his left hand side. And these were not Israelites, right? Remember, the Israelites were in a completely different group. That's why when he was talking to these two groups, and he said, "In as much as you done it or didn't do it unto one of at least of these my brethren, you either did it or didn't do it unto me," right? So I have to explain that because many Israelites, they'll get all tied up and twisted up if you say that anybody besides Israel are considered righteous according to the Most High. All right. So those who are righteous, this is the position of the righteous, which is being oppressed and hated by the wicked. And we were warned that if they persecuted him, they would persecute us. That they would, if they did it to him, they would do it to us because no servant is greater than his master. Right. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean, contrary to our doing. He doesn't join in with our foolery. He doesn't take part in our wickedness. He abstains from the things that we do. He doesn't want to celebrate Christmas. Oh, look at this person. He doesn't want to celebrate Thanksgiving or Halloween. He is clean, contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law. And this is what we do. This is why they hate us teaching. They really hate this awakening because this is what happens. We upbraided them with our offending. We upbraided them with their offending of the law and objective to our infamy, the transgressions of our education. And again, we do this because there are many transgressions of their education. They have been taught incorrect. They teach incorrectly, right? They have incorrect understandings. And so, you know, there, there are many transgressions of their education that causes them to offend and to devour the righteous. He says, and objective to our infamy, the transgressions of our education. Again, the reason why this Israelite awakening is greatly despised. He professeth to have knowledge of the Most High. See, this is what we do. We profess to have knowledge of the Most High. And when we do so, we make it evident that they have no knowledge, that their knowledge is really no knowledge at all when we begin to teach, when we begin to speak. That's why Christian apologists, got their hands, you know, their work cut out for them, right? They have their hands full with those of us who understand this book, right? They can easily try to find the weaker and lesser among us who don't really know this word that well. They don't really know the book, and so they can be destroyed. They can have holes poked inside of their understandings, inside of their teachings, inside of the things that they say, because they don't really have a great grasp of this book. But I'm not the type of person that a Christian apologist is going to succeed with. You're not going to win that one. You're not going to be able to make me look stupid, because all glory to the highest, man, that he's given me a great understanding of this book, right? And his promises that I will never be ashamed. Those of us who are given his wisdom, who seek him, right? We will never be ashamed, which means these Christian apologists can't put us to shame. They can't uh, teach and prove that what we believe in or what we hold fast to is incorrect. They just can't do it. Again, they can do it with lesser men, but not the greater among us. And I only say greater, meaning greater in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right. It says he was made. I'm sorry, I moved too fast. He professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. So you see, we understand ourselves to be the children of the Most High, right? We profess to have knowledge of the Most High, and we call ourselves his children, right? But there are those who are uh, not Israelites who profess to have knowledge of the Most High, and they also call themselves the children of the Most High because they think that being his creations make them his children, because they understand the scriptures incorrectly and they make themselves Israelites. He was made to reprove our thoughts. See, that's our function. We were designed for this. This is by predestination. We didn't just wake up one day and decide to do this. He awakened us in his timing, in the season he wanted each and every last one of us to awaken. He gave us the measure of faith and wisdom that he wanted us all to have, and sent us all on a mission that he wanted each and every last one of us to accomplish. And some people's mission is to lead people astray, others to righteousness. Lord willing, you be given the spirit of discernment to know who is who and which is which. He is grievous unto us, even to behold. For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. Again, this is why we're greatly despised and hated. We're never going to be liked. These people are not going to love us. Stop trying to be accepted by these people. Being accepted should not be what you care about in life. I no longer care about, whether Christians believe that we are Israelites, whether atheists believe, whether anybody believe that we or I am an Israelite. I know it. It's all about my walk and my relationship. I'm gonna stand on that. I don't care to try to prove anything to anyone who doesn't already believe. I'm just going to do these studies. I'm just going to do these videos that are put on my spirit to do. And those who are meant to be edified by them, they will come across them and they will be edified by it. All these things are of the Most High. They aren't from us. The Most High, he's in control of the algorithm. They might have think they did it through coding, and as a software engineer, a guy, a software developer, a guy who is into coding and so forth. I know very well about, algorithms. And see, we think that we're developing these algorithms, but it's really the Most High leading our thoughts. And so he's setting it up for these things to work the way he wants them to work, because it's all about things happening to his benefit, for the fulfillment of his will. All right. And so he had predestinated us to be grievous to behold for the wicked. Our lives are not like other men's. Ours are of another fashion. Our ways are of another fashion. We walk away, we separate, we depart from Babylon, from Egypt, from Sodom and Gomorrah, from the ways of this world. Right? We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. Yes, we call them counterfeits, right? Right? They're not, we tell them, you're not really the children of the Most High. You're not really the Israelites. This is what we do, right? We esteem them as counterfeits, and that's why they hate us. They keep trying to convince themselves and the rest of the world that we are the issue, but they are the issue. And what we're talking about is the truth, and it doesn't cease from being the truth just because they don't like what we're saying. All right? It doesn't work like that. The truth is the truth always, no matter who tells it and no matter who fights against it. All right? He pronounceth the end. See, I'm moving too fast again. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. And that's exactly what we do. We consider, all of the ways of these people, Easter and Christmas and Santa Claus and Easter bunnies and celebrating the dead and celebrating New Year's, which is all about new life springing forth in the season of death, which is winter, right? Celebrating, the downfall of our indigenous American brethren. All right. Notice I didn't say Native American, because those people who are called Native Americans are not our brethren. All right. And not all quote unquote Native or indigenous Americans are our brethren. Not all Latinos are our brethren. That's why you'll never hear me say, like other people will say, about how all Native Americans and all, Latinos are our brethren, because I know history, right? I know that many of them and most of them were the result of the conquistadors, the Europeans that spoke Spanish, aka the Spanish, and the Portuguese, right? And then you had the quote unquote Native Americans, who are Siberian, right? These people who they would call Moab, but they'll turn around and call Moabites, who they call Moabites on one hand, they'll then turn around and call them Israelites because they're Native Americans. These are Siberians, man. These are Siberians. It's all about bloodline, right? We'll teach on one hand, it's all about bloodline. You are what your father is, and then turn right around and call all Native Americans Israelites, even though they have no roots to our people. They come from the Siberians. We'll turn right around and call all Latinos Israelites, even though they're not Afro Latinos. They don't go back to Negro man. They go back to a Spaniard or a Portuguese man or a Frenchman, right? Or a German, because a lot of these people settled in South and Central America. They fled there during times of persecution in their own countries as well. And so a lot of their descendants are in these nations, and then Israelites turn around and call them Israelites because they come out of Central America or South America. It's just pure foolishness. Okay, somebody needed that. Now I'm back to the regularly scheduled program. All right. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that the Most High is his Father. Isn't that what we do? We pronounce the end of the just to be blessed. We know about all of these great blessings and things that are to come for those who are considered the just, right? And we pronounce the end of the just. We prophesy and maketh our boast that the Most High is our Father. This is definitely speaking about us. So the scriptures are true, correct? Yes, indeed. It says, let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. All right, testing and persecution shall come. For if the just man be the son of the Most High, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. See, this is that satanic spirit. Well, let us test it out to see if this is the child of the Most High. Let's see. It was the same spirit that came against Yahawashi and tried to get Yahawashi to throw himself down the rock, to see if, he's prevented from harm and death, right? But he said, you don't tempt the Most High, you don't tempt the Father. See, because that's what the wicked do. They try to put the Father to the test, like you have the right or the ability to do so. Insanity, right? I know. All right. Continuing on, it says, let us examine him with despitefulness and torture. That's how they plan to examine you, through despitefulness and torture. That has happened, is happening, and will continue to happen until Yahawashi comes and gathers his elect, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience, test his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. Such things they did imagine and were deceived. All right, this is the key. They imagined all these things and they were deceived. For their own wickedness have blinded them. What blinded them? Their own wickedness. As for the mysteries of the Most High, they knew them not. But wait a minute. Why are these people then teaching the book, teaching the Bible, if they don't know his mysteries? How can you teach the scriptures if you haven't been revealed the scriptures? If the truth hasn't been revealed to you, how can you do it? Well, if Satan tells you what to believe and understand about the Bible, that's why. And you believe that to be the truth because Satan greatly despised, yes, I was about to say despised, but he did, despised and deceived the whole world, that he transformed himself into an angel of light and tricked everybody. You know what I mean? Turned uh, everything upside down of the Most High. As for the mysteries of the Most High, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discerned a reward for blameless souls. If they did, they would have lived better. They wouldn't have did the things that they did to us in slavery. They wouldn't have enslaved us in the first place. But they never hoped for the wages of righteousness, right? Because they knew it was never about them. They were Satan's seed and they knew it. And nor did they discern a reward for blameless souls. So they never tried to be blameless because they never even discerned that there was a reward for being blameless because they believed in YOLO, Carpe Diem, all these satanic doctrines, right? When you go back to the top, it says the ungodly, right? The ungodly said, right? Exactly. That's the reason why they weren't able to discern the reward for blameless souls, why they never were able to hope for the wages of righteousness, because they are the ungodly. For the Most High created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. All right. Now, again, this is great wisdom from the man and dude endowed with the greatest amount of wisdom of any man to ever walk this earth, by the power, the predestination, and through the will of our Father. He had a great plan, right? He utilized him to give him all this information so that he can write it down so that we can have it in our times to benefit from. All right. Let's go to the next chapter, chapter 3. But the souls of the righteous are in the hands of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them. This is what you got to hope in. This is what you got to believe. See, you got to stand on faith. This is why I'm constantly preaching faith and teaching faith and trying to help build your faith instead of trying to give you a spirit of fear. There's a lot of other brothers who teach, and they're trying to get you to fear the Most High so much that you can lose faith, you can lose hope, and you're just going to always be expecting to be destroyed or to be harmed and to have some negative or bad thing happen unto you because they're telling you that bad things are going to happen to you. They have to happen to every last one of us. All right, that you're going to go through all of these great torments. All right, but torments are reserved for people, but they're not reserved for the righteous, though. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of the Most High, and there shall no torment touch them. All right, meaning you're not gonna fear. You're not gonna fear these things because you know it's not for you. You trust in the love of the Most High and His walk with you and His Spirit being with you and what He has revealed to you about Himself and about His relationship with you, your relationship with Him. So you're standing on faith, and then comes along somebody and they knock you off your horse of faith, and they have you sitting down in the dust, scared to stand back up and try to get back on it, thinking it's pointless. So you just sit there. All right. And the horse keeps trotting off. So your faith is getting farther and farther away from you. And you just sit there looking at it, riding off into the distance. All right. That's why it's a dangerous thing for everybody to be listening and learning from every tree. All right. In the sight of the unwise, they seemed to die, and their departure is taken for misery, because not everyone that dies because it's a punishment. Sometimes it's a mercy. All right. But you'll see certain people every time something happens to somebody, they all come along and say, see, that's the judgment. See, that's the judgment. But not all the time. But in most cases, they are right. That is judgment. But because the righteous are few, there are the few instances where the righteous are preserved to not see death. Now, I speak as a man, but I believe that we are at the end. So at this time, anybody dying is not a mercy, because the great hope that we all have of being people at the end is being able to witness and see His salvation, to take part in the second Exodus. Although we do know that there are going to be certain people who are going to have to die for their witness and for their testimony, right? And they'll have to be beheaded for the truth. But then they'll be resurrected, when Yahawashi comes, and they'll be part of the first resurrection. They're called the dead in Christ, who shall rise first, right? All right, so continue. And they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. See, they only seem to have been punished in the sight of men. That's how, what they went through was interpreted. But yet their hope is full of immortality, right? And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. They shall receive everlasting life and an inheritance with our master Yahawashi in the kingdom. For the Most High proved them, He tested them, and He found them worthy for Himself. As gold in the furnace hath He tried them, and received them as a burnt offering. And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. Remember, He said He was going to give us spiritual power. He would make Judah as a fire and Jerusalem as a flame, Israel as a flame, right? Or maybe that's backwards, right? Well, one is a fire, one is a flame, right? Israel and Judah. And that we would run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. Remember, it says that in Esau shall be for stubble. He's going to use us to destroy the other nation. He's going to make us his sharp thrusting instrument having teeth. They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. We got to stop. This is important. Who's going to abide with him? Such as be faithful in love. There's many Israelites out here who put their trust in him, right? And they understand the truth to an extent, some truth that they don't understand. And such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. That's key. You can't piggyback. You can't cherry pick. That's the phrase I'm looking for. You can't cherry pick and choose what which aspect of what Solomon is saying you want to believe and what you want to throw away. You either believe he was wise and he knew all of these things for a fact, or that he was not and he didn't. All right. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. Many people don't put their trust in him, and so they don't ever come to knowledge of the truth. It's impossible for them to understand it. When they hear it, they're going to fight against it. Gentile and Israelite alike are going to suffer this. And again, to hammer it home, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. That's a characteristic of the Holy Spirit. That's a characteristic of our Father and of Yahawashi. They can't be in you and you in them and you be one in them and you be, led and walking with the Holy Spirit, and yet you're not faithful in love. That makes you a liar. Continuing on. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect. Doesn't have care for the whole entire world, because John 3:16, he so loved the whole world, but he hath care for his elect. What does that mean? His chosen, the people that he elected, that he selected, that he chose out of the entire earth, because he didn't choose the entire earth, because he didn't love everyone in all of the earth. But the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord. That's the dangerous thing. The ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, Israel. Every time I pray that he causes the ungodly, the wicked, to be destroyed according to their own imaginations. Why do I pray that? Because this is his word. It's his promise that this is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to go. And what did he tell us? Give him no rest until he fulfill all of the things that he said will come to pass. So I don't give him any rest. Daily I pray for the ungodly to fall and to punish, for the righteous to be delivered out of their hands and to be pulled out of their clutches and out of their congregations, and from walking hand in hand with them. All right. They have neglected the righteous and have forsaken the Lord. Right? They fight against reparations because, they neglect the righteous. They neglect the righteous, and the righteous's need, desire, and what's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say, like we deserve, but we don't really deserve, right, to be restored by these people, because we got into this situation because we were deserving of this punishment, right? Because we offended, we broke the commandment, right? We severed our relationship with our power. So we deserve what we went through, and what we're going through, correct? Absolutely. And so as a result, the wicked, the ungodly have neglected the righteous, because the righteous had to go through uh, a time of punishment. And why would you think, as a non-Israelite, that you should get to enter the kingdom without going through much tribulation, if his children had to go through tribulation in order to make it? Verse 11, for whoso despiseth wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain. Their labors unfruitful, and their works unprofitable. Their wives are foolish, and their children wicked. Their offspring is cursed. Wherefore, blessed is the barren that is undefiled, which hath not known the sinful bed. She shall have fruit in the visitation of souls. And blessed is the eunuch, which with his hands hath wrought no iniquity, nor imagined wicked things against the Most High. For unto him shall be given the special gift of faith and an inheritance in the temple of the Lord, more acceptable to his mind. For glorious is the fruit of good labors, and the root of wisdom shall never fall away. As for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection, and the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out. For though they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded, and their last age shall be without honor. Right? Their last age. All right. Now, many people would think that this means like the last year of their life. No, their last age, because regeneration is real. We live, we die, we come back, and we go through this multiple times. And he's saying that their last lifetime, their last go around shall be without honor. All right. Or if they die quickly, they have no hope, neither comfort in the day of trial. For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation. And now remember, people are still going to be reborn and regenerated and so forth in the millennial reign of Yahawashi. And so many people, especially of the heathen, the Gentile nations, are going to be living and dying, being reborn again and living and dying, and their very last lifetime shall be without honor if they are the ones who are considered the ungodly and the wicked, for whom have no hope, as you see in verse 18. Or if they die quickly, they have no hope, neither comfort in the day of trial, right? For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation. All right. Every person who is unrighteous, their end is going to be horrible, because their end is in the lake of fire. All right. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4. Better it is to have no children and to have virtue, for the memorial thereof is immortal. I was about to say is immortality. I was going to make that word be what it isn't, because it is known with the Most High and with men. When it is present, men take example at it, and when it is gone, they desire it. It weareth the crown and triumpheth forever, having gotten the victory, striving for undefiled rewards. But the multiplying brood of the ungodly shall not thrive, nor take deep rooting from bastard slips, nor lay any fast foundation. For though they flourish in branches for a time, yet standing not last, they shall be shaken with the wind, and through the force of winds they shall be rooted out. The imperfect branches shall be broken off, their fruit unprofitable, not ripe to eat, yea, meat for nothing. All right. And this is happening now and is going to continue to happen. All right. The imperfect branches are being broken off, shall be broken off. Right. Their fruit is unprofitable. Everything that they're doing is unprofitable. There are people right now who are imperfect branches, but they're in this truth and they're teachers, but they're going to be broken off. They're going to be saying, Lord, Lord, they're going to, haven't I done many wonderful works in thy name? Right. But they're going to be broken off. Right? Because all their works, their fruit was unprofitable, not ripe to eat. Yea, meat for nothing. For children begotten of unlawful beds are witnesses of wickedness against their parents in their trial. But though the righteous be prevented with death, yet shall he be in rest. For honorable age is not that which standeth in length of time, nor that is measured by number of years. But wisdom is the gray hair unto men, and an unspotted life is old age. Be pleased, Most High. I'm sorry, be pleased. He pleased the Most High and was beloved of him, so that living among sinners, he was translated, because the Most High will do that. Yea, speedily was he taken away. lest that wickedness should alter his understanding, or deceit beguile his soul. And this will happen in this truth as well. The Most High, if he considers you righteous, he will snatch you from out of some congregation of the wicked that you might be a part of, because you come into this truth and you want to fellowship with other people who are awakened, and you want to have brotherhood and sisterhood. But those people are wicked. They are ungodly. You don't know it. You think just because they're in this truth and they're saying shalom or shalom, brother, calling you Ak or Akwath or Akim or whatever it is, you think them to be godly and righteous, but they're not. All right. They are imperfect branches waiting to be broken off. All right. They are wicked. And the Most High will deliver you from among the wicked. He will preserve you so that you can't be deceived by their trickery. Verse 12. For the bewitching of naughtiness doth obscure things that are honest, and the wandering of concupiscence doth undermine the simple mind. He, being made perfect in a short time, fulfilled a long time. For his soul pleased the Lord. Therefore hasted he to take him away from among the wicked. So again, this is harping back on the fact that sometimes the righteous are taken out of here as a mercy. Doesn't necessarily mean, that they're being punished. Again, I speak as a man, but I believe in this time, though, that's an exception. This doesn't really apply to our current time. Again, I'm speaking as a man because I believe that we are in the time when we are waiting for his coming, that we're going to get to see it, that we're the generation who are going to get to see his coming. I believe it. If I turn out to be wrong, then I'm wrong. But, I'm not, I will still turn out to be right. The same way disciples of the past, some of them, they thought that, the last days were their days, right? And so they died having that belief, but there was no harm in them having that belief. So it's better to have that belief and be wrong than to not have any faith, not have the belief and be wrong. All right? He says, for his soul pleased the Lord, therefore hasted he to take him away from among the wicked. This the people saw and understood it not, neither laid they up this in their minds, that his grace and mercy is with his saints, and that he hath respect unto his chosen. Thus the righteous that is dead shall condemn the ungodly which are living, and youth that is soon perfected, the many years and old age of the unrighteous. For they shall see the end of the wise, and shall not understand what the Most High in his counsel hath decreed of him, and to what end the Lord hath set him in safety. They shall see him and despise him, but the Most High shall laugh them to scorn, and they shall hereafter be a vile carcass and a reproach among the dead forevermore. For he shall rend them and cast them down headlong, that they shall be speechless, and he shall shake them from the foundation, and they shall be utterly laid waste, and be in sorrow, and their memorial shall perish. The memory of them shall perish. And when they cast up the accounts of their sins, they shall come with fear, and their own iniquities shall convince them to their face. The day of judgment. It's coming, it's fast approaching. Get ready for it. All right. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. How shall he stand? In great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. We're doing this now. We're standing in great boldness before their faces, right? Before whose faces? The faces of those who have afflicted us and made no account of our labors, our enemies. When they see it, they shall be troubled with fear. They are troubled with fear every time an Israelite awakens. The spirit of fear among these nations increases. This is why they hate our videos. They despise this awakening because it troubles them with fear. Because if we are right, that means the Christian church is wrong. That means they're going to go into captivity the way we did. That means they're going to receive double. That means they're not going to escape just because they didn't own slaves personally. You see, this is the reason why they hate this awakening so much, and why they despise it, and why they wish, that you can put it back in the bottle, and you can reverse time, and we all go back into being in a deep sleep, right? MAGA, they want to make America great again. They want to make the world great again, which for them means go back to a time when the Israelites were not awakened, where we didn't know who we were, and they were to live high on a hog, right? That's what they mean. When they see it, they shall be troubled with fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. Because when we are saved, when our salvation comes, it's going to be a strange thing. It's going to be an unusual thing. It's going to be quite the spectacle, quite the sight to behold. And they're going to look and they see it's us. They're going to be like, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. No way, I can't believe it. You mean to tell me? And that fear, that trouble, they're going to be troubled with terrible fear when they realize, when it occurs to them, oh my God, you know what we have done to them, and how much I've hated them, and the things that we've said about them behind their backs in private, the way that we talk about them, the way that we hate them. And you mean to tell me the whole time that these are the children of God? These are going to be our rulers. Oh my goodness. The people that we greatly despise and persecuted and oppressed and show no righteousness to. We were not fair with them. They're going to become our rulers and our judges. Oh my God, are they going to do to us what we did to them? Oh, wait a minute. The scriptures say reward them double according to what they've done to you. Oh no, they are going to do to us what we did to them, and double. Oh my God, can somebody start teaching about how this Israelite awakening is all occult activity? Somebody do something, please, to make me feel better. Somebody please comfort me, because the Holy Spirit won't do it because the Holy Spirit won't come to me. I need a comforter. And then da 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 da, enter Christian apologists. That's their role. That's what they exist for, is to help comfort the comfortless, right? To comfort those who are without comfort because they're without the Holy Spirit. This truth is causing many to be troubled with terrible fear, and they need saviors. They need heroes. Again, that's where the Christian apologists come in. They have a role to fulfill. All right. All right. So continuing on. And they repented, and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves. All right. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. Meaning these Negroes, we had them in derision. We made them a proverb of reproach, right? All the insults and the derogatory things that they say about us. This is going to come to their mind. We fools, they're going to understand in that time that they have been foolish the whole way through. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of God? And his lot is among the saints. It's going to be unbelievable. It is unbelievable when they hear us teaching and proclaiming to be Israelites. It's unbelievable to them, and it's troubling. Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us. Listen, this is the reason why you can't get the truth in the Christian church. Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us. And the Son of righteousness rose not upon us. That's why they can't understand the truth. That's why they can't teach the truth, because that's why they don't know the truth. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. They have not known the way of the Lord. So how can they teach it? How can Christianity be the way of the Lord and the way to the Lord when the people responsible for Christianity, the people in it doing the teaching, the people, where they learn the book from in their seminary schools, they have not known it. So they exhaust themselves in the way of wickedness and destruction, thinking it's righteousness and the path of everlasting life the whole time. But they have been deceived. They've been beguiled by Satan, all right, and Satan's seed that they call pastor and preacher and father and so on. What hath pride profited us? Or what good hath riches with our vaunting brought us? All those things are passed away like a shadow and as a post that hasted by, because all of these things, all of the wealth that they accumulated, everything that they built up off our backs through slavery, they're going to lose it all of it. We are going to inherit the wealth of the earth. It all will be turned over to us, all of it. And as a ship that passeth over the waves of the water, which when it is gone by, the trace thereof cannot be found, neither the pathway of the keel in the waves, or as when a bird hath flown through the air, there is no token of her way to be found. But the light air being beaten with the stroke of her wings, and parted with the violent noise and motion of them, is passed through, and therein afterwards no sign where she went is to be found. Or like as when an arrow is shot at a mark, it parteth the air, which immediately cometh together again, so that a man cannot know where it went through. Even so, we in like manner, as soon as we were born, began to draw to our end, and had no sign of virtue to show, but were consumed in our own wickedness. For the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with the tempest, and passeth away as the remembrance of a guest that tarrieth but a day. But the righteous live evermore, everlasting life. Their reward also is with the Lord, Yahawashi, right? He says, I come quickly, right? And he says, when he comes, his reward is with them to give unto every man according to their works, right? Their reward also is with the Lord, and the care of them is with the Most High. This should give you great confidence and strength of faith, knowing that your care is with the Most High, that you are in His hands where none can pluck you out. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. For with His right hand shall He cover them, with His arm shall He protect them. He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. You see that? Remember, he promised Israel, I'm going to make you a sharp threshing instrument having teeth, and with thee shall I beaten in pieces the nations. That's what he's talking about here. When he says he's going to make the creature his weapon, he's talking about the Israelites. That's who he is calling his creature, his creation. He shall put on righteousness as a breastplate, and true judgment instead of a helmet. He shall take holiness for an invincible shield. His severe wrath shall he sharpen for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds, as from a well-drawn bow, shall they fly to the mark. And hailstones full of wrath shall be cast out of a stone bow, and the water of the sea shall rage against them, and the floods shall cruelly drown them. Yea, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overflow the thrones of the mighty. Ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. Everybody's sitting around right now talking about Project 2025, talking about how parts of the Civil Rights Act are being rolled back and so forth, and how it seems to be an attack on quote unquote black people or minority people or people of color, POCs, however they want to want to phrase it, right? And how, think the laws and everything are getting barbaric, and they're taking away people's rights, and they're giving, more rights and power, to the police to be unaccountable, and and so forth. All of these things taking place, this is ill dealing, right? And ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. The mighty are all the rulers of the earth at this moment. All right. They're all going to be overthrown. That is their judgment. That is the Most High's pronouncement against them, that they shall fall, and they shall become the slaves in Yahawashi's kingdom to his people. You can't get away from it. What goes around comes around. Hear therefore, O ye kings, wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6. I forgot to say, in case nobody noticed that I flipped the page. We are in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6. Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn, ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. Give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations. For power is excuse me, for power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest. Who shall try your works and search out your counsels? See, all kings, all rulers, all people in power are given that power by the Most High. Only they don't know who to thank for it. All right. And in the same way, poverty and lowliness, hell on earth is also from the Most High. And that is to come for those who are now up high. Just wait for it. Because being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of the Most High. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. A sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. All right. But look where he says, though, he says, because being ministers of his kingdom, servants of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of the Most High. All right. Because these people are ministers of the kingdom. They're servants for us who are the kingdom of heaven. All right. But they haven't judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of the Most High. But also we, Israelites, as future judges of the earth, right? This is the double entendre. Many of us, right, are, being ministers of his kingdom, also have not judged aright, nor kept the law. They don't know which law to keep. They think it's about the law of Moses. They don't know it's the royal law. They don't know that everything Yahawashi told us to do was a commandment, and the word of the king is law, right? We were told to love the brethren, to love each other. But they said, nah, 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 you ain't from my camp, so you ain't really my brother, and I don't gotta love you. Most High says, live peaceably with all men. No. I know he said that, but nah, I don't really like y'all. I think all you ninjas need to die. I think all you heathen need to die. And so I'm not gonna live peaceably with you. I'm not gonna be nice to you. I'm not gonna be cordial with you. I'm not gonna do any of that fluffy stuff that he said to do, because he's an austere man, and the father is a man of war, and so I don't really gotta listen and take everything that he told me to do as an actual commandment, although I believe you gotta follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. Just not all of them, but all of the law is still in effect, but not all of the commandments we got to follow. We keep it to the best of our ability. All sorts of foolishness like that you hear from the mad ramblings of the mad when they're rambling, right? All right, continuing on, he says, for mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented. For he which is Lord over all shall fear no man's person, neither shall he stand in awe of any man's greatness. For he hath made the small and great, and careth for all alike. But a sore trial shall come upon the mighty. Unto you, therefore, O kings, do I speak, that ye may learn wisdom and not fall away. For they that keep holiness holily shall be judged holy, and they that have learned such things shall find what to answer. Wherefore set your affection upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed. But in verse 10 it says, for they that keep holiness holily shall be judged holily, shall be judged holy. It's a tongue twister, but you got to catch what's been said. And they that have learned such things shall find what to answer. Those of us who have learned what that means and live that, we shall find what to answer in the time when we are questioned, when we are forced to have to justify our faith or to give our testimony. All right. Wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away. Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her and found of such as seek her. Get that again. She is easily seen of them that love her, but many don't get to see her because they don't love her. And then others only get a glimpse of her through, but it doesn't come easy because they don't love her. So their glimpse of her doesn't come easy. It comes by rough ways. All right. And sometimes they aren't even seeking her. She's just forced upon them by somebody like me who comes along and tries to force wisdom upon them. Right. She prevented them that desire her in making herself first known unto them. Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors. All right. The doors of his mind, just waiting to rush in with a flood of wisdom. As soon as he's ready to open his mind up to learn something, here it comes. I know what that feeling is like. To think, therefore, upon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought. Right? She goes about seeking such as are worthy of her. So wisdom is picky. She chooses who to deliver wisdom to, who to come to. Not everybody is able to obtain wisdom, even if they profess themselves to be wise, even if they dedicate their lives to studying. They still cannot obtain true wisdom. They can learn some things, which are probably going to most likely be lies, but they'll never be able to obtain wisdom. They won't be able to hold on to wisdom when it comes by their way because they won't understand what they're seeing and what they're hearing when they encounter it. The wisdom will seem like foolishness to the unwise because they are unworthy of her. All right. So she hasn't shown herself favorably unto them in the ways. Verse 17, for the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love. And love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. And incorruption maketh us near unto the Most High. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. See how you get to the kingdom? Through your desire for wisdom. All right? You got to have the desire for wisdom before wisdom will come unto you and consider you worthy. If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, Israelites, if your delight be in thrones and scepters, all right, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore. Remember, the Israelites are who are going to reign forevermore. So this is how you know this is who it's talking about and to. All right. So that's why I highlighted that, said Israel, listen up. If you are an Israelite and you believe that or have a desire to become a king and a priest of the Most High, all right, if you delight in these things, all right, you have to honor wisdom. Ask for wisdom. What she is and how she came up, I will tell you, and will not hide mysteries from you, but will seek her out from the beginning of her nativity and bring the truth, and bring the knowledge of her into light, and will not pass over the truth. Neither will I go with consuming envy, for such a man shall have no fellowship with wisdom. But the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people. Receive therefore instruction through my words, and it shall do you good. And my prayer is for you that you do receive instructions through the reading and the understanding of the words of King Solomon, given to him through the Father and Yahawashi to give to us for our growth. All right, we are being made ready for the marriage. We are being made ready for the kingdom. We are supposed to be transforming from caterpillars into beautiful butterflies. All right. Right now is the time when you should be in your spiritual cocoon, repenting, transforming, becoming better, becoming different. And then when you emerge from it, it should be evident to everyone that you are a more beautiful creature, a better creature than you were when you went in, than you were at your beginning. All right. And so with that, let us give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly High One, our Father Yahawah, in the name of our King Hamashiach Yahawashi, the Holy One of Israel, our Redeemer and propitiation for our sins, our atoning sacrifice, who is worthy of respect, honor, and love, no matter what any Old Testament only Israelite believes. They are the ungodly who reason among themselves, but not aright. They are those who have a zeal for the Most High, but it is not according to knowledge. Again, I'm going to leave you with that. I pray that you guys were all edified. Pray again, watch it again, stop it, read deeper into the verses, and get everything out of it that is possible for you to extract at the time. But know that you didn't get everything out of it, and you're going to have to come back to it again at some point and do it all over again. Pray, then study, and you'll be given some more gems. You'll be given some more breadcrumbs to help you put together that loaf. All right. I pray that I see you guys on the next one, and I will, Lord willing. I pray that you guys all be a blessing to somebody else today, starting with yourselves, because you got to be first partaker of the fruit. All right. Before you can be a teacher, before you can try to pass something on, you got to take a bite yourself. You got to eat it. You got to consume it. You got to believe in what you're teaching. Otherwise, other people who you try to teach or to show the light to, they're not going to they're not going to believe you. They're not going to listen to you if they can look at you and see that you're not walking it like you're talking it, that you don't really believe. You don't really seem convinced. You seem unsure about this very thing you're trying to convince me of. You see, that's why you got to get yourself together first before you try to gather somebody else. All right? Each one, reach one. Shalom.